There he is, Marvel Shaft.
You guys haven't heard about me.
NYPD's worst nightmare, bulletproof black man.
I'm about sick of always having to buy new clothes.
Yeah. Welcome to Comics on TV. This is a very special Daredevil episode. We're going to have two sets of guests here. First guests are going to be Diane Giselle from Defective Geeks. Second guests are going to be Reagan Catherine and Joseph Deckelmeyer. Hopefully I can get him to give me some spoilers about a lot of other Netflix shows that are going to be coming out soon. Stick around. Enjoy the show.
Hi, I'm Diane, the Space Pirate Queen from DefectiveGeeks.com.
And I am Giselle, a.k.a. Jizzy B from DefectiveGeeks.com.
And they're going to be here today to help me discuss Daredevil. This is a special episode. I know, right? The special episode is going to be a part one of a two-parter where we pretty much break down Daredevil, the entire season 2. So let's jump right into it, ladies.
All right.
And off the bat, I want to know your favorite part of, episodes 1 through 4. Favorite part?
1 through 4, okay. There's a hierarchy. Top 3 moments.
Oh, ooh.
Top 3. The first one, of course, is that hallway / stairway.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, that whole fighting sequence was just exquisite. Like, I didn't think they could top the fight scene from the first season. That hallway scene.
Yeah.
But they topped it, and they kept going. Like, every time I was like, that was good. It's like, continuing.
Continuing, like, oh my God. It went from a corridor to the stairwell to right there at the bottom.
Yeah.
And it was amazing the whole way
good.
through. I loved every bit of it.
Yeah.
That was, and it was great because it was a nod, that whole thing of doing it, trying to make it look like it's all done in one shot, is a nod to Old Boy. Like, if anyone's ever a fan
That's right.
of,
I remember people comparing that from last season.
Action cinema in that way, and it was great. And this one was even better because, like, it started off with just the clincher of, okay, he has the gun, he's actually going to fire it.
Right.
That tripped me out, like, oh my God, okay, I'm not going to shoot it at any other time.
That cracked me up, and he's like, how do I fight with this?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. And he's like, I love how he managed to use that to his advantage, but it was funny, you could tell he was like, what do I do with this? Okay. But I also loved how he had the chain in the other hand. And
it was using
the
it
chain
was great.
The whipping it and grabbing guys.
I loved it because immediately he was like, all right, let me level the playing field. Boom, hit the lights. It was like, I'm going to make it dark. You guys can't see, but I still can. It was great. And then that smile of his, a smirk, where he pulls the trigger and it was like, click. He was like, yes. Usually everybody else would be like, shit, well, I'm done. He was like, click, yes. And he was so ready for it. Like, here come, get the punch.
It's kind of like one of that weird moment where he was like proud of Frank for not putting bullets in the gun.
Yeah, exactly. But it's cool because, in the comic, that moment happened earlier, actually, on the rooftop, where it's Frank there and Grotto, and Daredevil are there, and they're having that whole conversation. He says the same thing of, I want you to make the choice, the one that I usually can never really make, I guess. That was the thing. And so he sits there, and he's about to shoot him, and he says no, and he pulls the trigger and finds out, the firing pin was removed. And he says, now you've had to make the choice like I did. And then he doesn't shoot him. But in this case, it was like, okay, well, he shot the chain and blah, blah, et cetera, et cetera. And then my thing, I have to say this. You guys remember the old man coming up to the doorway on the roof, right? And he was speaking to him, and he was like, oh, what's that over there? And he was like, oh, probably rats. He can hear the chain just rustle a little bit when he was right there.
Right.
When the gunfire started upstairs, he did not run back up and say, hey, what's going on over there? It was just like, well, I'm going to sleep. I don't want to avoid it completely.
He's probably like, it's his American right to fire guns on the rooftop.
I know, right? It's like, he told me he was just smoking up there. That's more than smoking. Excuse me, sir.
But I guess he let it go, like, maybe he's shooting the rats now. That's fine. I guess I'll take it. It's one of those.
But then he comes out of his hallway when all those dudes come filing in, and I'm like, so you're not staying in for safety.
No.
It's like, have the police been called at any point during this entire...
Not at all. Well, it's Hell's Kitchen. One, the police don't even want to be there. Exactly. And then two, they were the bikers across the street, something happens there, they're like, well, good riddance, I guess. We're not going to show up unless we have to.
Right.
So I mean, I guess it makes sense. Another moment that was great.
Giselle has
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, well,
You had
her
three.
top three.
Oh yeah, that's right. There's top 3, you guys. Very important. The second one was when they have that mano-a-mano moment on the rooftop before the fight. When they when they finally just have that conversation with each other, finally just speak
Just
instead
that
of just
mental battle.
yeah.
It was
You know.
so good.
Yeah.
It was a breakdown between just like essentially morality, like between the two battling moralities, and that was good. But here's a question for you two:
Yes.
who's right, Daredevil
I
or Punisher?
mean, because the Punisher, like Frank has good reasons to want to kill people, you know. But like, you know, I mean, this is kind of crossing over the two universe, but you know, I'm on the side of Batman where you don't use the same, you don't get on the same level as the villains, like
By
you
doing
don't
the same thing.
by doing the same thing,
Right.
you
I get
know,
it, I
like
get it.
by killing people, he's essentially like kind of crossing the villain line, like becoming a villain almost, but that's what makes him a great character because he's on that line.
Okay.
And I
like
love
that,
characters
like
like that at the same time. But you
that.
know,
So you love that gray area,
Yeah,
the
the duality.
anti-hero kind
Yeah.
of thing of it all.
Yeah.
Duality.
Yeah,
That's perfect.
exactly.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
And it makes you question it yourself. I mean, because of course this is fictional, so it's easy to talk about because these are pretend
Yeah.
people with pretend
Exactly.
problems. You know,
Exactly.
it's not like this is really happening out down the street. But you know, like you were just saying, like I do kind of compare it to Batman very similarly. But then there are the moments, like with Batman, where it's like, you know, they keep breaking
Yeah.
out of Arkham and they keep
if
doing
you like just kill the Joker,
and then
everything-
maybe Jason, you know, just throwing that out there.
Or maybe Barbara wouldn't be in a wheelchair.
Exactly. So
because they're gonna keep coming back.
yeah.
Exactly.
You know, and it's gonna keep getting worse and worse.
Well, that
but-
was the point that Frank made.
Exactly.
Frank said, okay, the minute you do it, and a minute after, a day after, a year, a week, whatever it is, these people are back on the streets and they're doing worse than what they did before. And I was like, man, when you bring that up, oh, that's so true.
Yeah, like their,
Maybe you
their
should kill a few people.
police friend even mentioned it, like, you know, half the cops in Hell Kitchen is like think that he's a menace, and the other half is like he's making our job easy.
Yeah, exactly. So where do you stand? It's like, it's so hard.
And yeah, it makes you question, like, he is, in a sense, solving that problem. Like, that's the end of it. But then again, there are repercussions to those actions. Like you were just saying, like, there's that gray area. Like, for instance, you know, like, maybe that will cause another rivalry. Like, someone's going to want to
Exactly.
retaliate.
Very
So,
true,
once
very
again,
true.
it's that wonderful gray area, but that's what makes them such, like you were saying, like, great characters. Because it really makes you think about it. Like, I don't know. They
Like, what
both
would
have
I
a point.
do? You know?
Well, true. And, well, moving on to favorite moments, you had a third.
I did have one, too. The third one was the cemetery scene.
Ooh. Okay.
Cemetery
Okay.
scene.
All right. And what was so great about the cemetery scene for you?
Because there was like this moment of closure almost with it a little bit. Like when they finally like there, I mean, I don't want to say there's a peace there because obviously more things are going to happen.
We're
but
fangirls, so like
That's true.
bromance moments
Kinda
is what we
like-
live for.
I know it's
Okay,
like
all
when
right, all right.
like these guys were fighting obviously, and they had that morality conversation. But now they're like, I respect you and like you, and it's like,
and we're friends. Yeah.
you know, yeah, like we tend to love that stuff. So
that makes
Yeah.
sense. That works out for you.
pulled the heart. You got to pull the heartstrings
Yeah.
a little bit.
Okay, so you like to see the hey, we were enemies, now we're friends,
Exactly.
and that
Yeah.
connection. It's the Zack and Slater
Yeah.
thing from Saved by the Bell.
Yeah.
So.
I could
Like,
like a better analogy right
Yeah.
there. That's
Yeah.
it. Boom, right
You
there.
know,
So
Slater's
just-
the Punisher.
Yeah, exactly. Slater's the Punisher, and Zack would be Daredevil, and then ultimately in the end they high five, and it's
Yeah.
a
And then there's
Right at
the
the
freeze
max.
frame right when they high five
Yes.
in the air, like their legs are up, like yeah. Pretty
right
much.
at the, and they're all hanging out at the max, and what's his name's
Exactly.
doing magic,
Yeah.
and it makes
Having
sense.
milkshakes.
Exactly.
Yeah,
See?
I
There
mean-
you go. Nice. I like that. I
Sure,
like
like
that.
the Punisher and Daredevil actually having milkshakes, like, hey, bro. So, you know, Punisher's drinking like strawberry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
I just
You
think
just
that
see
would
it,
be-
how it would be.
yeah.
It would be like so cliche but perfect at the same time.
Yeah.
Where he's like, I'm brooding, I'm tough, and I'm. Need my milkshake. It has some strawberry. You know, he just goes for
My
it.
daughter's favorite.
Oh,
tug,
jeez. Oh man, that part hurts. That part hurts. Jeez, because that's also something about the whole family, and man, I hope at least we get even more concerning that. Because I mean, I want to know more. Like, just remember we've only on up to episode 4, so I want to know more concerning him. I wonder what happens there. Like, are we going to able to see like? Are we going to get a flashback, or is he going to give us like vivid detail of what happened to his family?
Right.
You know, because that's the thing that made him become the Punisher, essentially.
Yeah.
And, through comic lore, it's like usually some mob situation, blah, 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 people get killed, and then all of a sudden, here he comes. And now he has to become this bearer of, vengeance. Right. So that's exactly what he is now. So I wonder if they're really going to give us that deep portion of it that gives us everything more. Now, were you guys fans of Daredevil before this, or did this really flesh him out and introduce him to you?
This really fleshed him out for me because I'm a fan of like David Mack's work and stuff like that. So I've seen the comic books, and I've always been like, I'm gonna read that one day because my pile is like this high.
Oh yeah,
so that's gonna be in the future to read the future. And then suddenly, Marvel announced the Netflix show, and I'm just like, ooh, check it out. Season 1 was amazing, and then season 2, like everyone was looking forward to it. Like the hype was really big, and I was kind of I was kind of afraid that it wasn't gonna live up to it because like season 1 was so good.
Right? Oh man, but so far
so good.
Oh yeah.
And yourself?
For me, I was introduced to those characters by Spider-Man the animated series, when I was a kid.
Like most of the world.
Yeah.
That's so true.
Yeah, so that's how I found out about them. Like as a kid, like Saturday morning cartoon, like, oh, Punisher. And I got older and kind of, it escapes your mind. And then I was reminded of the character when the Ben Affleck movie came out.
Ben Affleck, Daredevil.
That's my guilty. I'm sorry, I'm saying it right now. That was my guilty pleasure.
Sorry,
we all like the movie.
I do love the movie. So sorry if you guys hate me. Write in and tell us in the comments. Trust me. I will fight and respect that movie. I do. But go ahead.
And likewise. And I really liked it. It came out when I was in middle school, and I was like, oh, I remember this guy. He was cool. And
I felt bad for him because he had to sleep in a bathtub.
Yeah, right. Now people do that and they pay a lot of money for it. The isobaric chamber thing, So I'm thinking actually that was a trendsetter moment right there.
Yeah.
See? Yeah. People wouldn't want to do it until after Ben Affleck did it in Daredevil. That's it. That's the truth.
There we go.
See?
Works for me.
Man. Yeah. So that makes sense. But no, I love the show. So far, everything about it is amazing. And I'm looking forward to even more. What about you guys?
I'm really looking forward to how they do Elektra for this series.
Oh my God, I can't wait. I saw the little trailers and little bits and pieces, and I was just like, oh, this is going to be good. Yeah. But I wonder, are they going to even bring her on and then kill her also? Or are they going to bring her on and let her stretch out? I don't know.
Please don't bring in a female character just to kill her.
Oh, jeez.
Please don't.
But that's kind of like her claim to fame. She shows up and then she has to die, so this way he can be a better Daredevil, which is horrible and slightly, not even slightly, it's horribly misogynistic, but it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I know, it's one of those where I was like, I know this, but okay. Well, let's just see. But
there's so many speculations, so many things that I just want to know what's going to happen. But we're going to have to wait.
Yeah.
I know you guys won't. You guys will be able to see what happens later, and we'll be discussing it on our part 2 of this.
I'm sure
but for us right now. Right. For us right now, it's I'm dying. We're only on 4, so. Yes. Deal with that. I want to say thank you guys for coming out. It was
Thanks
great
for having us.
Oh man, it was great. And, where can people find you guys?
They can find us on defectivegeeks.com. We have a weekly podcast as well. And at Defective Geeks on Twitter and at facebook.com/defectivegeeks.
Okay, and your personal at mentions.
I am at Petra Giselle, PetraGiselle.
And I am at Punkagogo, Punkagogo. Follow me and you'll see all my commentaries while I'm watching things.
And
hey guys, this is
oh really? Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're rolling right now. That's not how it's gonna intro. And we're back. You notice my guests have changed. My goodness, you've grown so much facial hair in such a short amount of time.
I'm an animal.
People, please introduce yourselves to the world.
Hi, I'm Reagan Catherine.
I'm Joe I'm Daniel's castmate.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you're beyond that though. I mean, come on, you're
Let's keep it off the records.
the news feed. You're the news feed.
More for Mondays.
Exactly.
And spoiler guy.
There you go. And spoiler guy, which I'm definitely gonna go ahead and pick your brain. I need some info.
I got something
I need some
small
info.
I can get I can hint at.
You can hint at?
For the Netflix series, yeah.
Okay, that's good enough. I like that. And you're gonna give us some behind the scenes info
I know,
about
I ruined something
princessing, right?
earlier.
There's no point in saying anything.
Oh, well, not sitting next to Joe.
No, really.
That's the problem.
Ruined everything.
Well, let's get into it. So we're gonna discuss Daredevil episodes 5, or is it 6? Actually, we're gonna 5 all the way to 13. So it was amazing, and let's jump right into it. What did you not like about the series?
Ooh, what did I not
This season.
like? This
That's
season.
the best question to ask.
Okay. I am not a fan of Daredevil, like, actually.
Why?
I think that
Did
he's...
you know what the show was about?
No, I know, right? I like all the other characters, just not actually Daredevil. I think that he is so just set in his ways, and everything, it's his way or the highway.
I didn't like that there was only 13 episodes.
Oh, I thought.
Well, yeah, that
I like I wish there were more because it was so good.
Well, but the thing is, with it being 13 episodes, we talked about this earlier. There's a problem where sometimes they focused on some things too long, and other things where they should have focused on too short. And that's some of the problems. Well, she was noticing some portions that she was just not a big fan of. How we kept following, what's her name? The redhead
Karen.
from True Blood. There you go. Is that her? We kept following so much of what she did.
But
I
think that's going to play into
red herring.
deeper. No, I think that's just going to play deeper into
I thought I
her
was going to say
story.
the word, right? You heard red herring.
I thought so.
That's what I thought.
I think it's going to play deeper into her role going forward to season 3 and beyond. Because if anybody reads the comic books,
So you think there's a season 3?
I think there's going to be.
There's definitely going to be a season. Yeah, exactly.
Because it was supposed to be just one season.
Spoiler alert if you're
Originally.
reading Daredevil comic books, but here's what happens to Karen Page. She ends up getting into. So she leaves to go to LA to become an actress.
Right.
And she's so traumatized, and she knows that Matt's Daredevil. She's so traumatized by it. She goes to become an actress, meets with Johnny Blaze, which that'll be prevalent, I think, later on in the Netflix series.
Exactly.
And she becomes an actress, and then she gets into drugs, and then becomes a porn star, and then sells Daredevil out to the Kingpin for heroin. So, and if you
Always the
see her
heroin.
story arc right now, you see all this bad shit happening to her, and you can see it going down that path.
Oh, you think it's gonna follow that?
Absolutely. I
So
think
See,
that's
that's what
why
I
I
liked
focus so
about-
much on that character, so it makes you care right now. So when you get to that point. It's going to be like, oh.
Because
Okay,
I
you
haven't
swayed
followed
me.
the comics exactly. Like, as far
Well,
as
that's actually not true. Well, somewhat.
I was
like,
gonna say, come on, there are
like,
moments.
I was like, we
Nobu,
were literally just
Nobu the
talking about
ninja.
it.
So,
Yeah.
so some of that stuff was taken directly from the comics, actually. Like,
Yeah,
especially like a lot of the later runs, like Garth Ennis's run. Some of that stuff was lifted directly, like the Punisher being tied up. That was lifted directly
that was
from Garth Ennis's
definitely.
run. So a lot of this will tie in, and the great thing is they're setting up the long game, which
Yeah.
I think is brilliant that they're doing in this Netflix series. It's going to start. I'm glad we got the Hand because that's gonna be a huge.
Well, the Hand
part
is
going
very
forward.
important. Very important. It's going to be. I mean, it's part of the mythos when it comes to Daredevil itself.
It is.
So, I mean, it's something that needed to be mentioned and needed to actually be addressed.
But did they address it well?
Absolutely, I think so.
Oh, I thought the Hand, like, I thought they could have done such a better job. Like, to me, it was just like, you have all these ninjas and they get, like, killed off the second that they appear. It was like,
Well,
it wasn't, I know, right?
it's all
It
this.
could have been so much better.
Well, no, the thing is, you have to remember. I mean, they were goons, and still, nonetheless, they were ninjas. But essentially, so is Daredevil.
But I thought that
trained
was
by
smart
stick.
though that he couldn't hear their heartbeats because that
They,
chamber.
yeah, exactly.
That they're bringing
That was
everyone
smart.
back.
Exactly. So that
Because
was
of that
interesting.
supernatural element or mystical element, which
Yeah.
I think we'll get into with Iron Fist.
Well,
So you like the mystical element.
I
of
love it because you have to get a setup for Iron Fist because if you're going to start throwing all this stuff in it, it's not going to make any sense when you get there.
Exactly.
So it's
Which-
training the audience slowly to start accepting this supernatural mystical element to it.
which they hinted at first back in season 1.
Mm-hmm.
So to get even more of it and actually have it be established or
Did
fleshed
you
out,
guys catch
that
all
was
the
great.
references from the bigger Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Well, I feel that there were some things like the biker gang. They were addressed before, but that's like for Agents of Shield. Who cares?
So the Roxxon company.
The Roxxon. I mean, those are the people that essentially are like anti-Stark. They killed essentially Maria and Howard Stark.
That's about the. Well, no, that's not true.
Isn't that it? I thought they were the ones that were connected to it, and that's what people were saying. Then what is it?
Spoiler alert for you guys that are going to watch Captain America: Civil War. They don't kill Stark. The Winter Soldier does.
No, you idiot! You idiot! Why? I said no. I said Howard Stark and Maria Stark. I thought, but for Civil War. Oh,
That's
okay,
true.
yeah. For now, that's true because of the Civil War.
Roxxon is a part of the Iron Man mythos in the
That's right.
cinematic universe, and he's also in. They reference Roxxon also in Agents of Shield. The other reference a lot of people didn't catch. I don't know if you caught it or not, to be honest with you. Cybertech, because that's the company that makes Deathstroke.
Yep.
Or not Deathstroke, Deathlock.
Deathlock, and then there's Black. Okay, how do you feel about the blacksmith thing?
I loved it.
Everyone goes on and on about it, but which blacksmith are they talking about?
They're not
because
talking
they're
about the
they're not talking about the scroll blacksmith.
No.
So which blacksmith are they speaking of?
I think that's a character. Like that's just a name that they're using.
Okay.
I don't
all
necessarily
right.
think
Cool.
it's a character.
Cool. What other Easter eggs were there?
There was a few. So there was also the guy that makes Daredevil's suit.
Yeah.
He becomes a character called the Gladiator.
Yeah, he does, but he's a villain.
No, he's an anti-hero.
Oh.
So he's a vigilante. But you can see like the development of that character. There's chainsaws everywhere, and he has a chainsaw.
That's right.
Like,
that's
arm.
right.
So that was a little bit of a Easter egg there too.
What else? Trying to run with it. I was like,
Right,
I forgot the other
there was
one.
Without spoiling any other movies.
Well,
There's
you
a
know
few
what?
more
You
that-
hinted at something that I really want to address. Then I mean, when you were talking about spoilers, anyway.
Okay, what spoiler?
I mean, dude, we were talking about Iron Fist over and over and over.
Right.
I mean, there's a spoiler concerning Iron Fist. There has to be.
In this?
No, just you have a spoiler.
I do have.
concerning
I
Iron
have.
I was like in Daredevil.
And
I
how
was like,
it's
I missed that
connected
one.
I
this
have
in a
stuff
way.
that's coming out later
Okay.
for Iron Fist, but I can say this. If you're a fan of, if you want to see the Defenders and you want to get caught up on what's going to happen in that show, read the comic book, the comic series Shadowlands.
Yeah.
Because that
Punisher, right? It's a Punisher or Shadowlands. Is
no,
that or he's
it's a
in
Daredevil thing. So
okay, cool.
Shadowlands this is essentially how it goes. Shadowlands actually, and you can kind of see this in this season of Daredevil. Shadowlands is where Daredevil actually starts running the Shield, and he becomes almost the villain
Right.
of Hell's Kitchen, and everyone else is kind of there to stop him. But it's a longer story than that.
Okay.
But you can kind of see that happening with Elektra's death and the hand,
Mm-hmm.
setting it all up. Shadowlands is going to be very important because that's what, I don't know if anybody knows this, that's what Defenders is based on.
Okay.
And there's going to be two Marvel characters that you haven't seen in the MCU that are going to be in it, but I'm not going to let you know who that is here.
Kind of wait.
Not yet. Not just yet. But that kind of points to what we were discussing off camera, where you were saying pretty much Daredevil's a douche.
A little bit, a lot of it, really. Like he doesn't listen. Like it's his way or the highway. And I feel like if like they don't, like what we were saying, like Baki is the only one that kind of stands up and is like, maybe not.
Maybe that's not a good idea. Maybe that's
no.
not.
Great lawyer, by the way.
Oh,
Dude.
he's wonderful. Second season did him so much justice. Like I
yeah.
hated him in the first season. It like he came on and I was like, I want to claw my eyes out. And now, like in the second season, they really like they built his character, like him and Karen both.
Well, they fleshed both of them out, and now they're no longer just supporting characters. They stepped out into the forefront, and we had stories that were essentially connected or about them, and it was good. I like how this season they did choose to focus on other people besides just Daredevil, and putting them out toward the forefront and fleshing them out in the way that they did was great. I love the Fisk episode.
Oh, that was great. And the
Come
jail
on.
fight scene.
Oh man, dude, so great. But I love how like we started off the episode showing essentially Fisk, hey, like Fisk is a man of power. He exudes power and leadership. And even in jail, where you're supposed to be subject to anyone and everyone else, he still stands up and runs the jail. He deserves the moniker of Kingpin. And it's great that we got to see it that way. So I loved it.
That like after season 1, I was worried about like the villain. I was like, oh, season 2, like, Fisk was such a good villain. Like he was such a well thought out character. And going into season 2, like I almost felt like there wasn't a strong villain. Like it's kind of hard to follow up with.
Well, the
Fisk.
Hand's the villain, kind of.
But I don't think they were a strong villain. Like it just kind of seemed like they tried.
Well, I think that the great thing about this was that you don't have a a clear-cut one villain. You had the Hand, you had Nobu, you almost had Elektra at a point. You know, and then something we didn't even talk about was the Punisher.
Oh,
so like,
Punisher, man,
the
so good.
The episode 12 is my favorite because it's the exact parallels, the same thing. It's your mentor,
exactly,
and both of them. It was Elektra's mentor and Punisher's mentor.
Yeah,
and they both had a decision to make whether they were going to kill him.
Exactly,
and I like how that played out.
Man, though, that was like amazing for me to see it all and go through it. Like, I didn't expect this even to have to come to a head where these choices had to be made. But it was like, well, Stick already sent someone else to go ahead and try to kill Elektra anyway. So it was just like, well, all right, we know it's going to happen. So we already know Elektra is going to die. It's like a Greek comedy. We know. It's like a given for her. Like, hey, I'm Elektra. Well, you're going to die.
I was just watching that Daredevil movie last night on like TBS or something.
Dude, okay, you know what? That is my guilty pleasure. It's a freaking good movie.
It's not bad.
I like in moments the way they do address Daredevil. Like something that I did like and we talked about earlier was the drug addiction thing that we haven't addressed here.
They don't
but
touch
it's
on
like they don't touch on it. But dude, he's clearly addicted to
Also,
morphine
there was
and
another
like
Easter
painkillers.
egg. When Foggy goes into the bar, an AC/DC song plays. I think it's called like it's Aces and something. I don't know what the fuck it's called. Oh no, I think it's a Motorhead song or something. We're
gonna have to find
one of those
it.
songs.
Okay.
But it was a direct reference. That was a reference to Bullseye.
Oh,
And I think that we're
okay.
gonna get Bullseye in season 3. We
Okay.
have to. It
Well,
was rumored that
hopefully.
Jason Statham was gonna play him.
Yeah, but is he really going to be that important since he didn't kill Elektra?
Yeah, I think so.
Like that was his like claim to fame though in the comics. Like it was like, oh hey, I killed Elektra. Like that was his thing.
I think
Exactly.
But one thing that we can all agree on with this Netflix series, it's going in a deeper direction.
Yeah.
So they can do whatever they want with that character.
I don't know, because earlier you said that it was pulled pretty much directly from the comics.
Well, some of it was.
Well, yeah, some parts were like.
I think in the comics,
broad.
I don't know who. It's been changed so many times. I don't know who kills Frank Castle's family in the comics.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's been
But
changed.
I
so
always
many
thought it was the
different times.
Kingpin.
Well, there's been story of that happening in the comic run of Means and Ends. It was someone else that did it, and it was connected to the Irish that did it, the Irish mob, and then blah, blah, blah. And then you'll read in their parts of War Journal Chronicles, or whatever that is, Warzone Chronicles, where it says it was an Italian family, and then someone else says it was an inside military thing. There are too many times that they reboot his story. In the end, ultimately, it doesn't matter. Someone killed his family, and he's coming for revenge.
Daredevil season 3. I'm calling it right now. Bullseye.
Bullseye? Serious?
I think we're gonna get
That's it? All right, that's your speculation and expectation. What about yours?
Oh, I didn't think
Just
that it
throw
was gonna
something
get.
out.
I thought that they should have kept it at one season. Like I think that they did it because
why do
the
you
other
want to
four.
take away happiness from people?
Well, because it was originally like they were like it was supposed to be Jessica Jones, it was supposed to be Iron Fist, it
Well,
was
it still
supposed to be
is.
the one season each before they came into the Defenders.
Okay, yeah, that
Side
is
kind of
exactly
thing.
how
And so
it was.
now-
It was offered. That's how
Like
people
is Jessica Jones
pretty
going
much
to get a
felt
second
it.
season?
Yes,
like
it
I would.
is. She is.
Has it been confirmed?
Confirmed.
Yeah.
Oh heck yeah!
Then sweet.
Wait,
We're
this
good.
is happiness. Now I'm fine.
Okay,
Now I don't
perfect.
care.
Perfect.
Jessica
So,
Jones is getting
but
a second season.
a
But that's the
speculation
one
or
character
anything?
I'm not sure that they... Because that character, literally, it ends. Like, that
kinda
story
does.
ends.
They did.
Yeah,
I don't know where you can carry on for a second season.
Well,
then again, who knows?
you know what? I mean, now the Hand's walking around doing things. Maybe they're gonna bring what's his name back, Purple Man back. Who knows?
It's
Purple Man
possible.
back?
Yeah, I mean, they may
He
be
did a
Purple Man
great
back.
Job. That was such a scary
Man,
show.
Tenet was great with the smile. That's something that's like shown as happiness could be turned into something that's so scary. That's great. Thank you guys. It was great having you guys here. I know we didn't get to dig into it as much as I wish we did. You know, we have a short, limited amount of time.
We didn't get enough spoilers.
No, we didn't
you want another
actually.
one?
Yeah,
Another
you know what?
spoiler
One
before we
more
go.
before we
Here's
go.
what happens at the end of Infinity War Part 1.
And everything goes black. That's amazing how we don't even get to finish it. Well, no, thank you. I appreciate it. We're not going to let you do that. We'll hold on to that. So once again, thank you two for coming by, talking. You guys can always pay attention to anything that we do here. But beyond that, you can also comment on the comments below. They'll actually be watching and paying attention, and they'll be able to interact with you while they go ahead and tell you how great their ideas were. But they'll interact with you online right there in the comments as well. If you guys think there's something else that we missed, maybe something that we should have discussed, please tell us below in the
I
comments.
have a question for you.
Yes.
What does every great host have?
An
a
even
riddle?
better sign off. Apple Dapple, guys. Asshole.